The first step is to put the sweeteners into a pan. Some caster sugar and either a mixture of honey and golden syrup or glucose, as is used here. You see, made honeycomb doesn't actually have to have honey in it. Next, water is added, about the same volume as the sweet things. This is then placed on the stove and over fairly vigorous heat. It's all boiled up. Once it starts bubbling, it's a good idea to brush the sides of the pan with a brush dipped in cold water. This stops the sugar crystallizing and possibly burning. Now what we're looking for is a golden color, just like this. At which point there's some deft work as the pan is removed from the heat. Bicarbonate of soda is quickly added and stirred. Now this creates small bubbles in the mixture and it becomes foam-like. Once well mixed, the honeycomb solution is poured onto a work surface that's been covered with non-stick baking paper. Another sheet is placed on top, and using a tea towel or a piece of cloth, the mixture is smoothed to an even thickness, and near enough is good enough. Once cool, the top paper is removed. The honeycomb is turned over, and the other paper is removed, leaving the finished article ready to eat. Caster sugar is put into a pan and water is added. This will go to make up a poaching syrup. Now fresh peaches are cut. Depending on the season, other fruits could be used, pears for example, and some of the fruit is then put in the syrup for a little poaching. Now to the baked ricotta. Step 1 is to cut a couple of vanilla pods. Cut them in half, then lengthways, and to scrape out the tiny seeds which provide the vanilla flavor. Vanilla essence is really no great substitute for the real thing in this dish. The seeds are then mixed into the ricotta, which of course is a good light, low-fat cheese. Now it's time to add the eggs, and then icing sugar, or confectioner's sugar as it's known in some parts of the world. Finally, the mixture is poured into loaf tins on tops of strips of baking paper. They're put in to help remove the ricotta when it's baked. This takes around 40 minutes. Meanwhile, some cut peaches are glazed by dipping in sugar and then browned either like this with a blowtorch or under the grill for 2 or 3 minutes. Once cooled, the baked ricotta is released from the pan and sliced before being served with the glazed peaches, some syrup from the poached peaches, and a piece of that divine honeycomb. And there it is, vanilla baked ricotta with glazed peaches and that freshly made honeycomb. Final taste test. And it is bliss. From Balmoral Beach in Sydney, bon appetit.